Aquadata Studio, Query Analyzer Demo, Queries, Query Automation, Results, Grids, Pivot Grids, and Charts. The Query Analyzer can be found in the application toolbar just beneath the Query menu. There are three different icons to launch it: Query Analyzer Clone, and Query Analyzer Window. If we select a database connection in the Schema browser by clicking it, then click the Query Analyzer button, a Query Analyzer opens with that connection. We can also use a right-click context menu. Query Analyzers open in tabs. Click a tab to view its contents. Query Analyzer Clone clones the current tab. Right-clicking on a tab gives a context menu for navigating, closing, grouping, floating, renaming, and comparing tabs. Floating opens the tab in a separate window. It can be reattached using docking. Clicking Query Analyzer Window launches a Query Analyzer in a separate window. ADS is still running behind this Query Analyzer window. We'll write a simple select statement. Notice that autocompletion assists using schema objects within the Northwind database. Autocompletion is aware of the cursor location. Here it is offering a list of columns from the orders table. How quickly it appears and what it displays can be set in the Query Analyzer options under File Options. We're about to execute this query, so we'll make room for the results by resizing the Query Analyzer pane. Click the Execute icon to execute. We generated text, grid, and pivot grid results. We can display other types of results by selecting them in the application toolbar: Show Text, Text History, DBMS Output, Grid, Pivot Grid, Execution Plan, Client Statistics, and Script Details. When generating results of greater than 100,000 rows, it is best to enable only grid results. We'll enable others and re-execute. Here we've enabled some other tabs: Text, Grid, Client Statistics, and Script Details. And now Text, Grid, and Pivot Grid. We can execute multiple statements at once using Go as a statement separator. Each statement gets its own results. They stack in the order they were executed in. Click on the Results tabs to see the different results types. We'll delete some of these multiple statements to make some room. The Automate menu has many useful features. We can format or beautify our statement by using Automate Format Current Statement. There are multiple options for formatting. Our statement has been formatted. We can beautify using Control-B and hit it again to undo the formatting. Automation also allows introducing insert statements quickly with Automate Introduce Insert Statement. Autocompletion appears as we type. Automate Introduce Columns assists further. The Automate menu dramatically speeds statement writing. Automate Introduce Value Stubs also assists. Automate Introduce Update functions similarly. Autocompletion is ready to provide table information. We'll introduce columns too. One of the biggest time savers is morph to delimited list. It's possible to copy data from a column and paste it, converting it into a statement. We'll copy as, setting the data order and data separators. Notice the other options including quote identifier and enclosure. Horizontal or vertical copying is available. We'll paste. Notice the commas and the enclosure punctuation. We'll copy as again, using double quotes for quote identifier. When we paste, we now have the new quote identifier. Automate morph to delimited list allows converting text into a delimited list. Highlight the text in the query analyzer and select morph to delimited list. It converts an initial set of delimiters and creates a new delimiter with options for string quoted identifier and line wrap. The text has been morphed with new separators. Find and replace works within the Query Analyzer window. Use Edit Incremental Find to search for text in the Query Analyzer. During Find and Replace, regular expressions are allowed. To view longer statements, it's possible to expand the results pane by control double-clicking in the tab. This vertically maximizes the query pane. To make navigation easier in larger queries, it's possible to toggle bookmarks. Multiple bookmarks can exist throughout the Query Analyzer window. Their tick marks appear in the annotation bar on the right. Clicking one or Control-Shift-Up or down arrow navigates through them. This sends the cursor to the bookmark. SQL editor options are very extensive and include syntax highlighting, auto-completion, tab expansion, and abbreviations. Abbreviations allow expanding small numbers of characters into large blocks of code with the use of expand on keystrokes. You can alter and add abbreviations. The abbreviation is the text to trigger the expanded text. New abbreviations are easy to add, and old ones can be removed. We'll type and show how the abbreviation prompt appears, and use the expand on keystrokes. We can simply use the expand on keystrokes without having to wait for the prompt too. We'll control double-click to reduce the query pane size. To clear out the results of the previous multi-statement execution, we'll execute with only one statement. It's possible to sort the results by column or multiple columns. Clicking on a column header sorts ascending, then descending. Control-click on multiple columns sorts them one by one. A number at the right of the column shows which columns are sorting and in what order. To further assist in examining results, the Quick Filter can filter the data as you type, displaying the number of filtered results out of the total results.